President Joe Biden is engaged in a vigorous effort to garner support as the midterm elections approach. His anticipated signing of the new climate tax and health bill into law is expected to contribute to this cause. In terms of healthcare, the newly passed bill will empower Medicare to engage in negotiations to reduce specific drug prices, commencing in 2026. Biden and his team will embark on a nationwide campaign to endorse the new Inflation Reduction Bill, showcasing how the Democratic administration is both safeguarding the nation and mitigating inflation. However, numerous Democrats are now expressing skepticism regarding the bill's impact on inflation reduction. They argue that the bill fails to tangibly alleviate the financial burden faced by households. Despite proponents emphasizing that this issue is a priority for ordinary families, critics point out that crucial concerns such as lowering gasoline prices, reducing food costs, decreasing rent, and making homeownership more affordable remain unaddressed. These dissenting voices maintain that the ongoing nationwide promotion of the bill will not provide satisfactory answers to these pressing questions. Rental expenses have become increasingly burdensome, with tenants witnessing a significant surge in prices. For many individuals, rent now competes with food and gas in terms of monthly budget allocation. In response to this issue, a coalition of tenant unions is seeking a meeting with President Biden in the White House. They aim to discuss potential government intervention, or the implementation of rental assistance programs to alleviate the soaring cost of rent, which currently exceeds 50% of the budgets of some Americans. Over the years, government leaders have consistently raised campaign funds by promising greater affordability in the housing sector. However, the persistent challenges faced by individuals seeking affordable housing remain unresolved. Despite these assurances, as housing affordability declines for the general population, it is important to inform renters that there are several advocacy groups fighting on their behalf. Considering the involvement of politicians, it is challenging to remain hopeful. For instance, Representative Pramila Jayapal, who often advocated for rent cancellation during the lockdowns, was discovered to have collected nearly $100,000 in rent during the same period she was pushing for free accommodations for tenants from other landlords. This highlights the lack of sympathy from government leaders unless they perceive a potential loss of votes. The pace of new home construction has slowed to its lowest point since the Great Recession, and home values are beginning to decline in many states while rapidly plummeting in others due to high interest rates impeding new loan applications and purchases. As a result, both owning a home and moving have become increasingly difficult and burdensome. On a personal note, I will soon be sharing my experience of reducing my total mortgage payments by over $200,000 and paying off my house decades ahead of schedule. I am passionate about helping homeowners in my community utilize their homes as a means of safeguarding against the challenges posed by inflation. I will provide more details on this matter in the near future, as it is something I am deeply committed to. It is widely known that endorsements from former President Trump carry significant weight. In the recent primaries, every candidate he endorsed emerged victorious. However, what might surprise you is that the primary reason Trump endorses someone is because they have not actively sought his endorsement. Representative Brian Donalds of Florida, for instance, received an unexpected text message stating that he had been endorsed, followed by a private phone call from Donald Trump explaining why he supports him as a candidate. Many individuals are currently receiving similar phone calls, with Trump expressing his intention to promote them. To be fair, Trump may also be selecting candidates who are already likely to win, allowing him to claim that his endorsement played a crucial role. Even when facing opponents who previously voted to impeach him, his endorsement has proven instrumental in securing victory for many individuals in their respective primaries. However, his most significant battle is underway as he seeks to oust Liz Cheney. According to The Hill, a former Trump aide explained that politics is always personal for him, but he considers the Cheney situation to be even more important. Cheney not only voted to impeach him but also made efforts to undermine him during the January 6 Select Committee hearings. Trump's team reportedly spent months searching for the right candidate in Wyoming before settling on Harriet Hageman, who now holds a substantial lead of 20 points over Liz Cheney. Consequently, Cheney is likely to lose her seat. Trump has also been vocal about his criticism of George W. Bush and Dick Cheney, attributing trillions of dollars in waste of taxpayer money and countless deaths in the Middle East to their fabricated weapons of mass destruction narrative, which was later revealed to be a massive lie used to justify the war. Recent leaks indicate that New York City Mayor Adams has quietly been using taxpayer funds to provide accommodation for illegal immigrants in upscale locations throughout the city. Luxurious hotels are charging exorbitant rates, around $400 per night, for rooms provided to illegal immigrants. This means that taxpayers are covering a staggering $12,000 per month per room in these upscale establishments. Additionally, the government is also providing food, clothing, and transportation vouchers to these individuals. Yet, simultaneously, the same government claims it lacks the funds to assist struggling taxpayers with fuel vouchers, food stamps, or stimulus checks. The hypocrisy is truly outrageous. It infuriates me and ignites a strong sense of anger. This story was exposed by an investigative journalist from the Daily Mail, so it's now public information that you can verify based on my YouTube analytics. I know that a significant number of New York City residents watch my channel, so there you have it, your government has once again betrayed you. Let me share something else with you. Many of the families I provide financial coaching for are immigrants, and I hold great affection for them. They arrived in the country legally, and almost all of them express their anger at seeing people who have sneaked into the country being treated like royalty. They find it highly unfair, considering the hoops and hardships they had to endure to become United States citizens. This sentiment of discontent is not only limited to individuals born in America but also extends to those who legally immigrated here. They are profoundly upset with the government's behavior. In other news, First Lady Jill Biden, who has received 4 vaccine doses, has tested positive for COVID-19 and will undergo treatment. We wish her a speedy recovery. Furthermore, both the head of the U.S. military, Lloyd Austin, and the CEO of Pfizer have also tested positive for COVID-19. Interestingly, economist Paul Krugman from the New York Times has suggested that the United States is grappling with inflation due to President Biden's exceptional performance as president. According to him, Biden's excellence as a leader is the cause of the inflation problem. It's worth noting that this report comes from the same individual. A year ago, this same individual assured us that inflation would not be a problem. However, we have had to endure the consequences of his inaccurate prediction. The CEO of the Trump Organization, Alan Weisselberg, may face potential jail time as part of a plea deal related to alleged tax fraud within the organization. Prosecutors had hoped that Weisselberg would provide incriminating information about Donald Trump, but he has refused to do so. If he accepts a plea deal, he may spend 100 days or more in jail, rather than facing a jury trial. Regarding the FBI raid, Trump continues his efforts to discredit the agency. He initially claimed that the FBI had taken his passports, which the FBI denied. CBS News' Norah O'Donnell reported that a Department of Justice, DOJ, official stated that the accusations were false and that the FBI did not possess Trump's passports. The media extensively covered this story, portraying Trump as a liar and defending the innocence of the FBI. A recently released email from Trump's communication director shows correspondence from the FBI acknowledging that they do indeed have his passport and apologizing for the misunderstanding. This inconsistency in reporting creates doubts for people, even those who dislike Trump. They question whether they can trust the media or their own government to tell the truth. In recent news, it was announced that members of the House Judiciary Committee have issued a legal notice to FBI Director Chris Wray, Department of Justice Head Merrick Garland, and White House Chief of Staff Ron Klain. This notice is meant to preserve all records, as these individuals will be subject to investigation regarding the Trump Mar-a-Lago situation.